It's almost the 4th of July, and if you're like us, you're already planning your 4th of July menu.
Today we're making 10 great appetizers you're going to want to include.
Watch them all, or open the description and click right to the one you want to watch. Our first appetizer today is perfect for the 4th of July. We always serve potato salad. It's a staple in our family, but these little bites are actually easier to eat, and they take up the perfect amount of space on your already loaded food plate. Your guests are going to love you for that. Start out by cooking your potatoes. These are baby red potatoes, and they take about 12 minutes to cook through. Drain them when they're done. You don't want to play hot potato, trust me, so let them cool before you slice them in half. I'm going to chop up the last two and put them in the bowl to make potato salad. Scoop the insides out of the rest. Slice a bit off the bottom so that they sit flat, and then put them on your serving platter. Now you have a bowl of potatoes to work with, so add the mayo, mustard, pickles, pickle juice, salt and pepper, and stir it all up. You want to add the chopped eggs at the end so that they don't get too broken up. Stuff each of the potato shells with the salad. Then garnish them all with paprika and parsley. See? Bite-sized potato salad. It's definitely the way to go. All that delicious potato salad flavor in a teeny tiny package. You won't overload your plate. It's only 1 or 2 bites. And you can definitely go back for seconds.
I am crazy about the sauce on this next appetizer. Wait until you try it. These are Firecracker chicken lollipops. The big challenge here is to get these drumsticks to look like lollipops. It's not as difficult as it looks though. Yes, it will take a little bit of time, but it's worth it for these cute lollipops. You want to cut around the middle of the chicken. You're cutting through a few tendons here, so use a sharp knife. Then I use a smaller knife to sort of scrape the bottom of the bone clean. You might have to cut away a little bit of that skin and tendon. Then push the meat up towards the top. It takes about a minute to do each one of these, and when you're done, season them with salt and pepper. We're gonna bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes until they get to 165 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature. While the chicken's cooking, let's mix up the sauce. Now this sauce has chili crisp in it. I like to use Chili Crunch actually from Momofuku. That's my preferred brand. It's so good. I use it on everything. Add the Chili Crunch, sweet chili sauce, soy sauce, and honey to a bowl. The more honey you add, the less spicy it will be. And stir it all up. Okay, the chicken's done, so I'm just gonna pull those out. Those look great. And then all that's left to do is to put them in the sauce. I like to put the sauce in a little shallow bowl so that I can just roll these around in it, get them all nice and coated in the sauce. The sauce is a little spicy, wouldn't be called Firecracker chicken if it wasn't, but you can put in a little more honey into the sauce if it's too spicy for you, and that will ease up the spice a little bit, make it a little bit more sweet. I don't mind it, I love the spice. Just gonna try one of these. They look delicious in this sauce. Yum. These are so good. It is spicy, but oh man, that is so much flavor. These are gonna be a hit at your party.
Next up are these corn lollipops. These corn lollipops are brilliant. It's the best way to serve corn, and let me tell you, once it's slathered with that delicious cowboy butter, they are absolutely irresistible. To make the cowboy butter, put your softened butter, that part is really important, into a bowl and add the garlic, lemon zest, lemon juice, Dijon, paprika, red pepper flakes, chives, salt, and some pepper. Mix that all up and then set that aside for now. Now let's cut the corn cobs in half. Make as many lollipops as you want. The grill's nice and hot. I'm just gonna grill these until they're tender and a little charred. These are perfect. Stick in a skewer and then slather on that butter with a basting brush. Be sure to get all the sides and then garnish it with some parsley. Line them up on the serving platter and watch them disappear. You need a thicker skewer for these than your typical meat skewer. You really need a handle to hold on to. That cowboy butter is really ramping up the flavor here. And it's just a little bit spicy.
Any 4th of July celebration calls for some red, white, and blue food, right? Well, we're up for the challenge. Today's 4th appetizer is a red, white, and pickled blueberry burrata. This creamy burrata is complemented with burst cherry tomatoes and lightly pickled blueberries. Scoop it up on a crostini and you've got a perfect bite. We'll start by pickling the blueberries. Add some water, sugar, salt, and vinegar to a pot. Stir it up and let it heat up until the sugars dissolve. Then add the blueberries. We're going to take them right off the heat and let them cool. Now for the tomatoes. Add a little olive oil to your skillet on medium heat. Throw the tomatoes in there and let them cook until they burst. It'll take about maybe 5 to 8 minutes. Watch them closely so they don't burn. Then season them with salt and pepper and set that aside. Burrata is one of my favorite things to serve. I love how creamy it is. I'm just gonna cut this open and spread it out a little bit on the platter. Then we can put the tomatoes right on top. Sprinkle them around a little. Then we'll add the blueberries. Use a slotted spoon so you don't bring any of that vinegar or water with it. Drizzle this all with some olive oil and then garnish with some flake salt and some basil. I really love the unique flavors in this dish, and I think that your guests will too. It's always fun to see something you haven't tried before, something a little different on an appetizer platter. And I love burrata. I think I'm gonna park myself right next to this plate at the party. This is really good.
Appetizer number 5 is a tasty plate of steak skewers. Before you get started, don't forget to soak your wooden skewers so they don't burn on the grill. Everyone loves a steak skewer, right? Especially when the meat's been marinated and tenderized. We're using cumin, chili powder, paprika, cayenne, salt, pepper, and some oil. Get all that steak and veggies coated. Now, if you have time, stick that in the fridge for a couple of hours or overnight before you start making the skewers. Thread the steak and veggies onto your skewer. So these are just appetizer size. So I'm using a 5-inch skewer and I'm only putting a couple of pieces of steak on each one. You want to make sure there's some room in between so they actually get cooked. It doesn't take too long. We don't want our steak to dry out. All right, these are ready to go out on the grill. Heat up the grill to high, and when it's hot, add the skewers. You'll want to flip them over once, but otherwise leave them alone and let them get a nice char. Then take them off. I like to serve these with chimichurri. You know, it's a really easy sauce to make, and it is just packed with flavor. So let's give it a try. The char, it adds so much flavor. These are gonna pair great with the rest of the menu.
I think it's always a great idea to have some salads on your party spread. There's always enough fried foods, breads, meats, but there's never enough salads. This wedge salad skewer is the perfect little bite. It's fresh, crunchy, and packed with flavor. And best of all, it's super easy to make. Before you get started, I think you should get all of your ingredients together on a board and be ready to skewer them up. We've got iceberg lettuce, bacon, cherry tomatoes, cubed avocados, some red onion, ranch dressing, and some crumbled blue cheese. You're also going to need 4-inch skewers to put them all together. Start by threading on the lettuce a bite-sized chunk, then 2 pieces of bacon, a piece of avocado, a tomato, and a little more lettuce. Next, we can sprinkle on some onion bits and blue cheese. And drizzle on that ranch dressing. If you want, you can drizzle on some blue cheese dressing and skip the crumbles, but I really like all of that stuff in there, and I really like the ranch dressing with this too. Let's take a bite.
These bacon jalapeno popper bites are probably the easiest appetizer we've ever made on our channel. They only take a few minutes to make, which is way faster than making actual jalapeno poppers, but they have the same great flavors in one tiny little package. I usually plan to make way more of these than I actually need because the first tray is gone in minutes. Be sure to set the cream cheese out so that it can soften. Add the chives, jalapenos, bacon, and cheeses. Mix it all together. Now just spoon the mixture into the tortilla cups. And we're gonna bake this for about 8 minutes until the cheese is hot and bubbly. All right. See, in just 8 minutes, they're all done and ready to go. The cheese is melted and bubbly, and you have the jalapeno and the bacon in there and the chips for crunch. What's not to love? Ooh, hot. Oh. These are better than jalapeno poppers if you ask me.
Okay, I'm super excited for this one. Our 8th appetizer are corn dog bites. The kids are gonna love these and so are the adults. So this makes a really great appetizer for 4th of July. Trust me, I can't stop eating them. So to make these really easy, I am using a box of Jiffy corn mix. You can use any kind of cornbread mix that you like. This is just easy for me. You can also make your own. It's not hard, you just need some cornmeal, a couple of other ingredients. For the Jiffy mix, you just need to add the corn mix and an egg and milk. Then whisk it all up. There will still be some clumps here, that's fine. Don't over stir it. Now we can cut the hot dogs into pieces. I go with about 1-inch pieces, so you'll get about 5 from one hot dog. You need 24 total. Spray the muffin tin pretty well so that the cornbread doesn't stick. Then we're gonna fill up each well just about halfway. Not too much or it'll roll over the top and make a mess. Stick a hot dog piece into each one of those. Then we're gonna bake these at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 to 12 minutes until they're nice and golden. When they're done, let them sit for a few minutes so they're not so hot. You don't wanna burn your mouth. Then you can just eat them right out of the pan. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Those are perfect.
No party is complete without dessert, right? So we're making some brownie bites with festive red, white, and blue topping. I said those jalapeno bites were gonna be the easiest recipe. Well, this recipe might be even easier, especially if you forego making your own brownies and get pre-made brownie bites at the grocery store instead. All you really have to do is dress them up. I've got whipped topping here in a piping bag. I've got quartered strawberries and some blueberries. Let me show you just how quick these come together. Bake your brownies in a mini muffin tin or buy pre-made brownie bites from the grocery store. Top them with whipped cream, a quartered strawberry, and 2 blueberries. That's all there is to it. How easy was that? No one is gonna know if you use store-bought brownies. Of course you can make them yourself if you want, but it's one time-saving shortcut that I'm happy to make.
One last dessert for you today. We are making a key lime pie parfait. Just a little one, a perfect bite to end the party. We'll start with the lime filling. Add lime juice, egg yolks, sweetened condensed milk, and vanilla to the bowl and just whisk it up. Pour that into a baking dish and we'll bake that at 350 degrees for about 18 minutes. Remove it from the oven and let it cool. Then refrigerate it for at least 4 hours. All right, we've let this chill for long enough, so I'm just gonna scoop it up and put it into a piping bag. Now, it doesn't need a tip on it. We just wanna put it in here. We're gonna stick this back in the fridge until we're ready to serve it up. In a food processor, we're gonna pulse the graham crackers into fine crumbs. Then add the melted butter and 1/4 cup of sugar and pulse that together until it's well combined. Pour the cold heavy cream into a mixer bowl. You need a stand mixer with a whisk attachment or a handheld whisker. Beat that on medium until peaks begin to form. Then continue beating until at least medium peaks or stiff peaks form. We are ready to assemble these. Make sure you've got all of your ingredients nearby and a spoon in each one. It'll make it easy. We're just gonna put some of the graham cracker in the bottom. Push it down a little if you want. Then I'll add some of this key lime filling. Okay, then we've got our cream. Push that down a little bit. Okay, and just put a little bit more graham cracker. And finish up with a few more layers, just really light on the top here. And a little slice of lime. Just give it a little twist and stick it on top. And there you go. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. I'm just gonna try this. All the flavors of a key lime pie right in this little glass. Thanks for joining us on this appetizer frenzy today. We are always excited to bring you more appetizers, so be sure to check out our other videos here before you go. Please like, subscribe, and come back for more.